Welcome, everybody. This is the JampCon podcast, and it's your host, Devin. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Stay tuned. Again, we're going to have a really quick commercial break, and we will be right back. So don't move a muscle.
Superman vs. Goku, Deadpool vs. Alucard, and many more matches await you at this year's epic JampCon Versus, the Japanese anime manga paradise convention, held in Chattanooga, Tennessee at the Chattanooga Hotel, April 21st to the 23rd, 2017. Along with panel discussions on other anime versus manga matchups, you get to show off your talents with cosplay contests and gaming tournaments to fight against your rivals. Speaking of rivals, be there for the matchup of the millennium, Yugi Muto versus Seto Kaiba dueling live in person. Dan Green and Eric Stewart will be here in Tennessee to truly show who the best is. Who will win the match? The president of Kaiba Corp or the king of games? This will be a convention you don't want to miss. JampCon Versus, April 21st to 23rd, 2017. Ticket information and more is available at jampcon.com. Pre-registration for a 3-day badge is $30 for children 9 and under, free with an adult. Sponsored by Andromeda, Supper House Marketing, and Crunchyroll. Come out and join us. You won't want to miss this.
It's time to do.
All right, welcome back. So that commercial that you just heard was from a guest from JamCon this past year, Anna Donovan, and we're gonna have her on the show. We did a interview with her, and she's doing great work. So later on in the show, we're gonna play the interview that we had with her, and we'll just before then we'll get her bio and everything read out. Again, she's doing some great work, and we appreciate her helping us out in our first year. And so we're going to get that going here in just a little bit. So I want to first send a shout out to all of the mothers out there. We are, Mother's Day is tomorrow, and so happy Mother's Day, not only to my mother, Sandra Brown, but also to Joyce Garth and all the other mothers out there. So I hope you guys have some good plans this weekend, man. Spend time with the family and enjoy yourselves. So we're gonna jump right in it. From last episode, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but so I finished the Naruto series, or most of it. I fought my way through most of it. And I wasn't, I wasn't that impressed. I mean, there were some highlights, with Naruto and Sasuke. There were some highlights there, some big fights that they had, some big battles. You also had some, you would have a lot of filler episodes, and then it would finally lead to some battles. And again, Naruto being a kid, he kind of is obnoxious in some of these other situations. And you have some of the other kids like Gaara, and I can't think of the other guy's name or two. Forget the other guy's name. He's the guy that has the eyes where he can see your chakra, and he has that palms attack. But nevertheless, he's serious, as well as a couple of others. So the series was decent. And I had been hearing a lot about Naruto and how obviously it's an old school, old school anime. It's been around forever, and you have your diehards. But I had didn't realize that Naruto Shippuden was the next one, and I saw I think one of the movies that they came out with, and I didn't really see the whole movie. But I thought that's what, again, I was new to Naruto, so I wasn't aware that Naruto Shippuden was another full-fledged series, 366 episodes, if I'm not mistaken. So kind of puts me in the mindset of Dragon Ball, the kids, and you have that whole saga, and then sagas, and then you have Dragon Ball Z. And so Naruto Shippuden is the one that people have been raving and talking about, apparently. And but I have to say, I mean, I'm 12 episodes in, and I have to say that I'm glad that I fought my way through Naruto, when they were kids. I mean, it seems like Naruto was a lot of character development. Basically, hundreds of episodes of character development with a lot of background and then some fight scenes, some big fights. But man, when I hit that Naruto Shippuden, I mean, episode 1, they got right in it. They didn't play no games. They wasn't asking no questions. Wasn't no intros. I mean, matter of fact, the first 10, 12 episodes, they had no intros. They come right in with you, knowing who they are, even faster than what Dragon Ball Z episode 1 did. Even faster. Really, not only faster, but better in my opinion. I mean, the episode, and for those you guys have watched it, I'm just gonna go over it. But episode 1, I mean, they're running. Episode 1, they're chasing, so they're already in action, like the minute the episode starts. And then boom, who do they run into? Sasuke. So I'm like, I didn't finish Naruto. I was at the parts where, again, they were, and I probably was far off. I mean, when I say now, I don't even think I got near the end, but I know that they had, Sasuke had left, and they had been, trying to find them and chasing them down and all that old stuff. So right off the bat, he runs into Sasuke, and Sasuke ain't playing no games either. And then you move from there as you get into the other episodes. Then you start to see, a lot of them hadn't seen each other in so long. So of course they're teenagers now, and you run into Gaara. Gaara's on another level, and boom, you run into, now you got a fight where they're looking for Gaara. Got this guy who's a beast, who's able to capture Gaara. You see Naruto Sensei, he comes in, he's putting in work. And then you run right into Sasuke's brother and that other dude, who were a beast, when I saw them battle in Naruto. And I mean, I'm just back to back. You have these battles back to back to back. You don't have a whole lot of kidding around whole episodes. And I'm sure those episodes are coming, but these first 10, 12, they're not playing any games. So I'm thoroughly enjoying Naruto Shippuden so far, after watching Bleach and finishing Bleach, which was amazing, I'm looking forward to Shippuden to see really where they go. But apparently this is the series that people have been hooked on, and all of the followers have been hitting. And I definitely understand. But I'm glad I fought my way through Naruto. It really set the tone. It really, it set the tone. So you hit episode 1, and you really don't. There's no questions. You're not wondering what's going on and who's this person, who's that person. I mean, the way they set it up, you really kind of have to watch either a movie, or you really gotta watch a Naruto. I mean, you really gotta see some of it, at least enough to know who the characters are. You really got to, because otherwise you don't know you don't know what the significance is of anything that's happening. So that's good. So you guys, again, if you guys haven't seen it, it's been a while since you've seen it, man, go back. It's a beast. It's a beast so far. Next we'll go into I want to do the anime review of the week. I finally finished Berserk, Berserk season 2. I call it season 2, but it's the next iteration of Berserk, immediately following the original Berserk. And the original Berserk, if you guys haven't seen it, you gotta go back and see it. And I'm not talking about watching those little 3 movies. I mean, go back and see the original. That thing was a beast. I'm not gonna go over it today, but it's a must see. It's a must see. And so, Berserk, it's been, over a decade, I think, or at least a decade since, and then they decided to, continue the story. And I have to say, and I forget, I think it's maybe 12 episodes. Yeah, I think it's around 12 episodes, give or take. Wasn't impressed at all. Disappointed, actually. There's going to be some spoilers in this, by the way, so FYI. But you start off, and it's the art is a lot better, the animation's a lot better. Matter of fact, if you guys haven't seen the Netflix original Ajin, I talked about it on some earlier episodes. The animation is pretty much whoever did the animation for Jen, they definitely had a hand, if not a direct hand, in making Berserk, the second season of Berserk. They because it's the same, and it's good. The story was disappointing. I mean, essentially, Casca's still alive, and she's all messed up. I mean, she is all messed up. She can't really talk. She's almost like she's a child. She's wandering around. They have to kind of keep an eye on her and make sure she doesn't wander off. And her mind is just gone. Which, if you saw the end of Berserk, it's not a stretch of the imagination that she's lost it. But so he's keeping up with her, and he's got some friends keeping up with her or whatever. But basically, he's fighting. He's traveling. The first couple episodes, he's basically just fighting. He's got the mark or the seal. And so when nighttime hits, all these demons and things be trying to get at him. And so you have a couple of serious little battles. There's this one scene where he's getting help from this old man and his daughter, and he's telling them, man, I got to get up out of here. I think he's like, I got to get up out of here. I got to get away from you guys in the dark because people who get around me die. So they're like, no, there's some religious folk. They're like, no, we're good. We got faith. We're gonna do this, and that. Well, man, the dark hit. And he goes out to protect them, as all these ghouls and things, are trying to get at him, and he's trying to protect them. And next thing you know, he turns around, and the girl, she's holding her grandfather's head in her hand. So she's been possessed, and cut his head off. I mean, nuts. And then of course he ends up having to kill her. So it was pretty crazy. That was the first couple of episodes. But as it went on, it just got real repetitive. Like, so Casca leaves, she wanders off. And there's with the religious undertone, they have, there's this prophecy or something about the swordsman and his return and things of that nature. But basically, he's fighting these, beings similar to the one he fought in episode 1 of the old Berserk. And it's basically fighting these beings, and he's chasing Casca. And then you get all the way. I mean, if you watch the old Berserk, what you're looking for is that first meetup. You're looking for the first meetup, where he can get his hands on Griffith. You're looking for maybe some more story, some more in-depth story. You're looking for something that kind of ties up some loose ends from the first one. And this thing gets all the way to the end. I mean, he basically all of the battles are related to him chasing Casca, and he runs into some enemies, and he runs into new obstacles as she gets handed off from person to person. And you get to the end, and he fights I guess the toughest being yet, who's he's like the pastor or even savior to some degree of these people, but turns out he's one of the beings too. And so after fighting that dude, what's the guy's name from the first Berserk? Nosferatu Zod. Alright, so in the first Berserk, Nosferatu was the first time that Guts and all of these dudes had really gotten first-hand account that, hey, there are some non-human entities that exist. Zod was just a myth, but this is just this big old beast. And Guts and Griffith were able to survive. They actually had hurt the guy. They were able to survive him, and they hurt him, but they were able to escape. And but in any event, so Zod shows back up at the very end, and then guess what? Griffith shows back up, and Guts lays eyes on him, and he goes into a rage and runs after him. But then because he's off in the distance, and then it goes to this narration or whatever, some storytelling narration, and then after that, you see Griffith flying off with, or Zod flying off with Griffith on his back, and then you see sort of the battle's over, and I know this sounds crazy. It's like I'm skipping the whole piece, but I'm really not. Like, it basically transitions over to the end. This is like the end episode. There's no fight, no meetup, no nothing with Griffith. Griffith flies off out of Guts' range. I was just like, what were they thinking? Like, they just threw this out, to appease the fans and say, okay, look, y'all wanted another Berserk, here it is, and they didn't really put no thought to it. So I, very disappointed, very disappointed. So I'm hoping that maybe they rectify that or something, or maybe they come out with a season 3 and really get serious with it. But yeah. I mean, out of 10, I'm giving it a 5. I mean, it's just not. I wouldn't even say it's worth watching. I think for nostalgia purposes, just to see a few episodes, if you're a fan of the old Berserk, see a few episodes, that's cool. But outside of that, you're not missing anything. Not missing anything. So we'll roll over to that to last thing I'm going to talk about, and then we'll get our introductions with our interviewer. The retro system of the week. We're going to do some this little segment, and we're going to sort of talk about, because again, we have a new generation out here who do not have a connection with the retros, where everything started, the classics. And so we're going to have a little segment that we're going to do each week where we're going to showcase and briefly talk about some of the retro systems. So we're going to start with the Sega Genesis, or better known as the Mega Drive, the Sega Mega Drive outside of the U.S. They call it the Sega Mega Drive, but in the U.S., of course, it was the Sega Genesis, 16-bit system, debuted here in 1989 in August, and I mean, what can I say? It was a beast of a system. I remember when I got my system, my dad bought me the Genesis, and the original Genesis was packed with a game called Altered Beast, and loved the game. Altered Beast, you basically were a person, you were a fighter, and you would go through the levels, and if you powered up, and as you powered up and you power up enough, you get to turn into a beast, and each person, each character had their own special beast that they could turn into for a period of time. But a beast of a system. Again, launched in 1989, 1988 in Japan in October, and they released Super Mario Brothers. Well, the launch was actually overshadowed. So let me read some of this. So the launch was overshadowed by Nintendo's release of Super Mario Bros. 3 earlier in the week. But nevertheless, they were able to get 400,000 units shipped out in the first year. And then they started to release the peripherals and the games after that. Now, this is of course, in Japan. Now, Sega announced a North American release date for January 9th, 1989. At the time, Sega didn't possess North American sales and market organization and was distributing its Master System through Tonka. So, so they had to really get this thing popping. Some of the launch titles, Altered Beast, Golden Axe, that was a classic, Golden Axe, and Ghouls and Ghosts. To give you an idea, I mean, technology, and of course, obviously, Sonic the Hedgehog, which was they sold 15 million. That was the birth of Sonic the Hedgehog. His first appearance with Sega, and so Sonic was born then. But man, this thing, I mean, for you tech heads or anyone who don't know, I mean, this thing, I mean, we talk about the kind of technology we have now with your PlayStations, your Xboxes. This thing launched with a let's see. Let's see. The system had 72 kilobytes of RAM. That's crazy. 72 That's not even nowhere close to a mega RAM. It's 72 kilobytes of RAM, 64 kilobytes of video RAM, and can display up to 61 colors. 61 colors. Far removed from the 4K we have today. But yeah, man, it was, and also backwards compatible with the Master System. So there was a Master System that, let me tell you something, Sega was ahead of the game on so many levels with every system they came out with. Network services. Sega created Sega MegaNet. It initially debuted in Japan in 1990. Operating through a cartridge and a peripheral called the Mega Modem. This allowed Mega Drive players to play a total of 17 games online. A North American version dubbed Telegenesis was announced but never released. So in Japan, they had the online gaming popping in Japan at launch. That's crazy. I didn't even know that. 1994, Sega started the Sega Channel, a game distribution system using cable television services, Time Warner Cable. Using a special peripheral, Genesis players could download a title from a library of 50 each month and demos for upcoming releases. Games were downloaded to internal memory and deleted when the console was powered off. The Sega Channel reached 250,000 subscribers at its peak and ran until July 31st, 1998, well past the release of the Sega Saturn. This is crazy. So they had, I didn't know this. So the Genesis had their own, not only their own online gaming in Japan, but they also had, and this was in here, they had the Sega Channel. So you could actually, the stuff that we're doing now where they're downloading, you can download your games from like Xbox Live or whatever. Genesis was doing this well before its prime. That's crazy. And of course, service was then discontinued in 1997. So that's crazy. So yeah, the Sega Genesis, man, you guys will see, you'll see these commercials that play. You can get the little Genesis system, and you can play like 1 million games on it. We got the technology now where we can emulate those things. But and of course, you have your different models that you can get now. But yeah, man, you guys, we're talking about nostalgia here. The Genesis. Matter of fact, at JamCon this past April, if you missed it, you guys missed the show. Definitely check us out and let us see you next year. We had some Nexus Gaming brought some Genesis in, so it was a beast. But they had Joe Montana Football, of course Sonic the Hedgehog. Remember Echo the Dolphin. Again, Golden Axe, Altered Beast, Streets of Rage. That was a classic. Streets of Rage, Phantasy Star, Shinobi. You had some classics that made their start. Shining Force, Toe Jam and Earl. In addition to game developers. Well, this is Elaborate. Yeah, these are some of the developers, rather. Some of the developers who made some of the games, like Toe Jam and Earl and some of these others. But yeah, man, in the Sega, the Genesis, then evolved into, you had your 32X model, you had your Sega CD, Sega CD2. So yeah, that's our that is our spotlight of the week, man. The Sega Genesis. You guys, again, I would definitely go check that thing out, man. It's good to know where stuff came from. It's good to know where the development came from, and you get an idea of the then and now, and what paved the way. All right, so we're going to get into the interview with Anna Donovan. I'm going to read to you a quick snippet of her bio. Anna Donovan is a budding voice actor from St. Louis, Missouri. She started out as an anime fan and is still an avid attendee of anime conventions today. Of course, she came to JamCon this past year. Known as the quiet girl through high school, she fell in with her community college's radio station and hasn't been quiet since. She started doing voiceover after finishing the radio production class and moved on to doing scripted and ad-lib roles for animation student productions on campus. After a while, she branched out and started taking other roles from independent animators and artists. She has produced public service announcements for shared pregnancy and infant loss support and RAIN. And of course, she also did, again, at the beginning of the show, she did the commercial, the radio spot for JamCon. In addition to voice work, Anna is heavily involved in audio production using Adobe Audition, which that's a beast of a program. She has done numerous pieces for a college station, KCFV-FM, Friends, and her own amusement, as well as sound design for animation. Anna's looking to graduate with the Associate of Applied Science and Mass Communications from St. Louis. So yeah, you guys go check her out on Facebook, Anna Donovan VO. Check her out on Twitter at Anna Donovan VO, and of course on Casting Call. So we're gonna get with the interview, and again, appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you guys listening, and we will be back on next time. Before I forget, definitely check us out. We've got the website for 2017-2018 being worked on now at jamcon.com. We got the screen up right now that says it's under construction. So we hope to have that out here in the next week or so. And again, pre-registration is going to open up between October and November. Right around in there, pre-registration is going to open up. We got a lot of promotionals we're going to be running. We also have some tournaments and things we're going to be running this year. So definitely stay tuned. Check us out at facebook.com/jamcon, and check us out, of course, on Twitter, Instagram, all of the social medias, and obviously follow us. Leave that iTunes review. Check us out on SoundCloud or iTunes, and yeah, we appreciate it. So here we go with the interview, JamCon interview with Anna Donovan. All right, so this is the JamCon podcast. We are interviewing Anna. How are you, Anna?
I'm doing all right. How are you, Devin?
Doing good. So tell everybody. Of course, so what do you go by on the social media, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I simply just go by Anna Donovan on social media. I have Anna Donovan voice actor on Facebook, so if you want to check out my stuff, I've got a couple of things up, including the JapCon promo, which I'm sure you heard before this interview started.
Yep.
So, I do a little bit of voice acting, amateur voice acting on the side. I use a site called castingcall.club.
Okay.
If you want to, kind of get into seeing, what it's like to interact with people, even if you're just interacting through computer, reading scripts, talking to directors, amateur directors, but hey, they can take you anywhere.
Yeah, that's nice. And so where are you from?
I am from St. Louis, Missouri.
Ah, the Lou.
Yep, that's right, the Lou.
So you've been there all your life? Have you traveled?
I've traveled, but I have always lived in St. Louis.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm from LA, so I'm of course
Oh,
in
wow.
Chattanooga now. Yeah, I moved here about 20 years ago. So
Whoa, really?
Yeah. So I've when I first moved here, I had an accent, so now it's got a little bit of country on it now.
Hey, that's all good.
Yep. So in terms of the radio side, when did you start doing the voice acting and the radio, all the just all the stuff that's involved? When did you start that?
I started it about 2 or 3 years ago. I actually followed my friend into the radio station at my college, which is community college, and ran into his dad, and he basically said, "Ooh, you seem to be interested in this, and you're a fellow anime nerd. Here, you're one of us. Come on in."
There it is, connections.
That they are the key in anything in life. They are key.
So is it hard to do the? I know you have obviously the aspect of having the voice and putting the personality behind it, but in terms of the editing and everything, is that pretty tough, or how does that work?
It varies from person to person. Some people can catch it just like that. It becomes second nature. Other people can have problems with it, and that's okay. You just got to keep going at it like anything.
Okay.
You'll figure it out.
Practice.
That's the truth.
Yep. So now in terms of the anime side, now are you strictly just an anime fan? Have you dove into the comic side, gaming, or are you just pretty much full scale anime?
I'm mainly anime because that's what I grew up on, but I love video games. I love Legend of Zelda, Mario, a little bit of everything, Skyrim, Oblivion, little bits of that. I'm not so much into the comics. I know about Marvel and DC. I know enough about the characters to be able to catch up on stories and see someone at a convention and go, "Hey, you're this character."
Yep.
But I'm not like ultra mega.
Yeah.
But I don't mind learning.
Yeah. So on the anime side, what was your first anime?
Oh my goodness. My first anime, and
Memory lane.
you're gonna love this, Devin. You really are. My
right.
first anime was Yu-Gi-Oh!
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kid you
Nice.
not. And it makes
Nice.
sense with our year's theme. It's so awesome.
I know. That's nice. That's nice. So Yu-Gi-Oh propelled you. So after Yu-Gi-Oh, because I know, I've talked about, how I saw some of the old school anime like Ghost in the Shell, and Akira, and then that, and I'm like, well, I don't really know what I'm looking at. It looks cool. But I didn't really dive into it until Dragon Ball Z became kind of big here. So what did Yu-Gi-Oh? What did you like about Yu-Gi-Oh? And then what genre of anime? I guess what style of anime did you kind of jump to after you first was introduced to Yu-Gi-Oh?
What drew me to Yu-Gi-Oh! Was the characters, to be honest. The way the voice actors, Dan Green, Eric Stewart, all the other ones brought their characters to life, and you could really relate to them. They felt like real people, and little bit of backstory if you don't mind, Devin.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was bullied as a child in elementary school, middle school, when I first started watching Yu-Gi-Oh! So I automatically synced to Yugi, to seeing that he was this sweet, innocent kid that just got picked on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But he was still kind, he was still caring, and even when he was Yami, a Tim, he still had that caring part of him. It's like, you can still be strong, you can be tough, but you can still have that caring part of yourself still there.
Yeah. And he had that alter ego. He had the confident Yugi that came out. When it was
Yes, he
time to
did.
get down to business. That's how I sort of related, because I was a shy kid growing up. I mean, when I say shy, I'm talking shy. Like, I was way past like the Urkel, and and so that confidence. That's one thing about people who are shy. It's really just a lack of confidence. And so you look at Yugi, and then when his alter ego comes out. I mean, the guy, he can do anything at that point. He can take on any challenge, and he's. So yeah, I did like that. That was a one aspect on there. So what was the next anime or set of animes after that?
Next after that was Pokemon and Digimon around the same time. So
Yeah.
they kind of correspond with each other.
Yeah.
So
Did you ever see any of the kind of heavier themed animes? Maybe some of the ones here recently, or even back in the day, whether it be a Bleach or a Tokyo Ghoul, or just pretty much that genre with the again Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Digimon. That's pretty much your sweet spot.
that's mainly is. I mostly watched Kids WB when it was still around.
Yep.
Long day, those are gone. But I have been introduced to some of the other ones like Bleach. I saw a couple episodes of Hellsing, which a little too much
that's
gore
what's
for
up.
me. Just a little bit
Oh,
too much gore.
Don't watch Tokyo Ghoul then. That's
Yeah, I kind of noticed that. One or two episodes, like, nope, I'm done. Can't do this.
It's
So,
a beast.
I'm kind of cheesy, but I prefer the ones that have more of like the heartfelt friendship stories. Like, we can do anything if we
Yeah.
have friends, because that's mainly what a lot of the.
You would like Fruits Basket.
I have seen Fruits Basket.
Yeah, I'm about
Love
to
it.
say, yeah, I didn't think I'd like it. My sister, she said, and I'm on the hardcore side, so like the Hellsing, Berserk, all that stuff. And so she said, yeah, you ought to watch this, this anime. It's called Fruits Basket. I'm thinking, that don't really sound like it's down my alley. I don't know, And so, I watched it, of course, and I died laughing. It's funny because in Fruits Basket, I forget the guy's name. He's the cat.
Kyoya.
Yeah, he
Or Kyo.
Kyo.
Kyoya is Oran High School Host Club.
I was
Kyo,
about to say,
my bad.
I was about to say, you probably have seen that too, because they're kind of in the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he reminds me of Ichigo.
Oh, he does.
I mean,
like,
he's almost the same character, but it's like he's younger. You know what I'm saying? Like he's younger. They both have that. Well, he pops off. The Fruits Bats, he pops off a lot, but they look just alike to me. I was like, wait a minute.
Me too. My gosh, now I can't see that.
Yeah.
Can't see that. Thanks, Devin.
So okay, so you're now have you played? Have you actually learned to play Yu-Gi-Oh? Or you just
Yes.
on the show?
I played it a lot when I was younger, but
Yeah.
then I had a couple. I had a book of cards stolen from some guys down the street that were living across from me.
Yeah.
So after that, I'm like, no, I'm just gonna collect, and I have a huge exploding binder of Yu-Gi-Oh
Oh
cards.
wow. Well,
Yeah,
look,
nobody
hey,
touches those but me.
now I haven't updated. This is just this is really I guess for everybody listening, but as well, I've got to update the site. But one of the deals that Eric and Dan are doing, of course, we're gonna have them doing autograph. They're gonna have an autograph session. Very reasonable pricing as well. I've been seeing like a lot of, I guess when they do the autograph session, it's like $40 or $50 for an autograph.
Mm-hmm.
For the little autograph sheet or whatever. Where theirs are around $10.
Yep, that sounds about right.
But they also, and again, I haven't been to a convention where they were there, but they also throw in for free. Like if you get an autograph tip, then you can bring your own item for them to autograph. So you might, that was new to me. I was like, oh really? I'm like, shoot, I might buy a Yu-Gi-Oh deck just to have your autograph. Like I'm gonna go on eBay and buy one somebody done put together, and then just have my autograph that mug or something. But so yeah, that's good. So Pokemon, did you ever play that or Pokemon Go?
I actually played Pokemon Go for a friend of mine when he's driving. Trading card game, not the physical game. I played the Game Boy version. Did you ever play that?
No, I haven't. My first Pokemon game now, my kids, they I think it's the Pokemon Blue, the last two, was it Pokemon Sun? I think I bought Sun. Yeah, I think I bought Sun.
Oh yeah, the game ones. Oh my gosh. My first one was I played Blue, and then Snap was the one on 64. Oh, and Hey You Pikachu. Did you ever hear about that sensation when that was the big thing for the N64?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, good memories.
I just remember every time because I worked at GameStop back in the day. I worked at GameStop 4 years. So when the Pokemons came out, I mean those things, I was shocked. I wasn't even into Pokemon, then, and I was like, why is this game, selling out like this? Like what's what's the deal? But it's huge. Yeah, it's huge. It still shocks me. And Pokemon Go, it's kind of died out. It seems like it's kind of died down or died out.
Yeah, it kind of has. They updated it with the Generation 2 Pokemon, and that's kind of gotten more people back into the game.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are just like, no, Sun and Moon, I'm just going to play on my DS.
Yeah. It's like after a while, you find them, okay, cool. I mean, if they had to put some depth to it, some more depth to it. I heard some of the updates kind of killed it. When it came to the searching.
Like if they had like trading, or you could do Pokemon battles between people, like doing not a cable connect, but being within a Wi-Fi zone of people saying, hey, you can battle this person and that person.
Yeah, instead of having to go to a training spot.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. They had a little gold mine there, man. But as it stands, typically something great gets made, but the people who are making it, they don't have a vision. They made something and it kind of went, blew up. But then they were able to, sustain it. So what have you been to a lot of, I guess within the past year, have you been able to go to any of the conventions, I guess in your area or?
Yes, actually I have. I've been able to go to, I was about to say Kawakan. Nope, that's, yes. I've been to Anime STL, which is in St. Charles, Missouri, and it normally is in a town in Illinois, but they moved it this year to be more Anime STL, so they moved it in Missouri instead of Illinois. So the location was different, but it made a lot more space for people. There was a lot more going around. A little complicated, but first year at a new convention, well, not a new convention, first year at a new location, there we go, is a little hard, but you figure it out, and it worked out, and they're going to have it again at at the convention, and actually that's 2 weeks after JamCon, so I'm probably going to go to JamCon and then go to ASTL.
Hey,
so
I hear you. Hey, we appreciate that.
Not a problem.
Yeah, it's it's funny, man. The venues, it's a little bit different than it was several years ago when we had JamCon. But yeah, venues is tough, man. Getting the venue, and then, I've always been a fan of having it in one main spot. When I went to MomoCon
Agreed.
last year, they had it in the big Georgia Center or whatever. It's just a big old spot, so everything's in in one area, and you just navigate from there. As opposed to here we have the Choo Choo, which shout out to the Choo Choo. It's a cool spot, but things are split. They're all over the place, and so you kind of have to know. If you don't know
Where
your
to
way
go.
around, you just kind of wandering until you follow people, basically. So I figure out where everybody's going. Follow the.
Hey, that's how you make friends at conventions.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't been to too many. I've been starting to go to more, but I think MomoCon, of course, the conventions here, Connuga, Anime Blast, and then MomoCon.
Oh,
And so
nice.
we're gonna go to MomoCon again this year, and I want to make AWA. Have you ever been to AWA in Atlanta?
AWA, I have not had the opportunity, but I'd like to check it out.
It's anime. It's anime only. It's the other, in the Atlanta area, there's the three big ones. Of course, you got MomoCon. They average about 25 to 30,000.
Wow.
AWA averages about the same. Well, it's straight up anime week in Atlanta. And then obviously Dragon Con. Everybody's heard of Dragon Con.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, so it's interesting to know with Dragon Con, like everybody goes, but there's so many complaints because I guess it's so big. It's like, I would run into people and they have all these complaints, but they got that ticket though. They
Yeah,
got
of
reserved the
course.
ticket like a year. It was crazy because last year, so I had a coworker who went, and she was like this. I think it was the Sunday or the Monday of the convention ending. I think it ends on Monday. The hotel rooms for the next year was already about to be sold out at one of the hotels.
Wow.
I'm like, the convention ain't even over yet, and like their pre-registration went up, like I think that Sunday. I was like, I guess
That's amazing.
30 years in the game, So,
You get your consecutive fans coming back.
yeah, a lot of them. I think they had I think they had 60,000 last year. I believe so. I think it was like 60,000 last year. So yeah, they've been in the game a while, a good while. So what's next for you? What do you ultimately want to do in terms of you want to go the voice actor route? Are you gonna do the radio? Are you gonna go all of the different sections, take all the money? What you gonna do?
Oh my gosh. Originally, I was thinking of doing radio, doing a production, as I did the production for JamCon.
Yeah.
But finding from radio to the voice acting has really interested me too. So it's like I'm kind of split on both ends, going, I could do one, I could do the other, I could do both.
Yeah, I'm about to say
So-
you can do both. I mean,
That's true.
yeah, absolutely. If you had the time, yeah, definitely do both. I mean, like I said, what you did for us was a beast. I was like,
Thank you so much. I'm glad everyone enjoyed it.
Man, it was nice. It was nice. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I'm just like, hey man, you nice enough to hook us up. I don't really, however it is, I'm humbled. You know what I'm saying? So I turned it on. I turned it on. I'm looking like, did I turn the radio on? Like what?
Aw!
Let me cut this down.
You're so kind.
So we appreciate that. But yeah, you ought to do both. I mean, it's funny, man. I was earlier on when we were looking for we were trying to go big, get some different voice actors. We looked at like your Steve. We were trying to find somebody that could bring in a lot of people. So we were looking at your Steve Blums and your Matthew Mercers and guys like that. And they I did not realize like how much stuff they did. Like the voice acting was just like one piece. Like in terms of the particular anime or comic or whatever they were known for, like their big role, like that was like like it was like 1% of their was it Internet Movie Database or whatever. That was like the 1% of their resume. I'm like they were in games I didn't know they were in. They were in other anime, other comics, other shows. I'm like, well, no wonder they acting like Rockstar. I mean, like Steve Blum. Shout out to Steve. Man, I talked to his people, man. Rockstar. I mean, Rockstar, like, you think, man, I mean, the big dogs coming in, so it's like, the wants were heavy. I'm like, all right, well, we're gonna have to. We'll see about that a later year when we get a little bit bigger, because he was way too. I had to dedicate a team for him.
Baby steps, Devin.
I know, right? I know. I can't walk that fast yet. So let's see. So we got you. So you're gonna get you're definitely gonna do your radio thing. And look, let us know, because I mean we'd be happy to help support, man, and get the word out. Like I said, you're doing good work.
Thank you so much.
So where are your social media pages? Where can people find you?
I have a social media, as mentioned in the first part of this interview, which you should be listening to all of it.
Yes.
On Facebook, it's Anna Donovan, voice actor. So you can listen to a couple of things, and if there are roles that you want me to try and look out for, I would be glad for the help. I will do my best to help anyone who's interested in looking for voice acting roles. I've also got a Twitter account, just Anna Donovan VA, so look at me for that.
All right.
And I have a YouTube, which is going to sound a little weird. It's not professional, but it's connected with my my personal and then voice acting videos that are on YouTube, which is simply Haku Spirit Maiden.
Okay. Oh, well, I mean, it sounds right. I mean, it sounds like an anime. So, so it ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, it's funny, man. Side note, some of the voice actor guests, or not voice actor guests, the cosplay guests. I had talked with them on their main page when they messaged me up, like it was their main, like their person page, their personal page or whatever. And then I would hear, then one of their people would contact me about just saying, hey, we got a cosplay guest, if you're still taking some cosplay guests, whatever. And it'd be them, but I didn't know that the two were the same, because their name is completely different. So it's there. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, I call it, it's like your stage name, personal name, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's amazing when you can see somebody in cosplay and then see them in real life and go, wait, you're the same person?
Yeah,
dang.
Man, I'm working on I had ordered, I don't know. Okay, so on Facebook you have these the ads that'll come up for there's one called Variety One, and some of them sell t-shirts, some of them will sell cosplay stuff. So Variety One popped up and they had this Black Panther mask. Mask and all that. I mean, it looked really nice. It around the time when Civil War came out.
Yeah.
And I ordered this thing. I'm thinking they got me. I don't know. I ordered this thing probably, what is it, March now? I know I probably ordered that thing whenever Civil War came out. It wasn't long, because the mask was only like $40 or $50. And I ordered this thing probably in I want to say October, maybe November. That thing still ain't here yet.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah, I done hit them up. They sent me the tracking or whatever, and the tracking stopped where it said, "Hey, it reached the United States." I'm like, "What? The United States is kind of a big place." Where's it at? So they hit me up. They told me I just got to go through, because it was coming from overseas. So they had to go through customs and all this other stuff. I'm like, it shouldn't get held up in customs that long. They open, they look at it. Hey, it's a mask. I mean, what?
Yeah.
I mean, what? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm gonna try to. I don't know if you know the Facebook group Heroes for Hire or something like that. They make people who've made cosplay and then they sell it.
I think I've heard of it.
Yeah, they got some guys that's got, because I wanted to, I've never cosplayed, so
you should.
Yeah, so I'm trying to have something for that. I'm trying to get something popping for JamCon and then conventions afterwards. So Black Panther was one of them.
Nice.
And, so we'll see how that goes.
Well, I hope it gets here soon.
Well, yeah, I'm about to buy another one. I ain't heard from him, so I'm gonna have to just go ahead and chop that $40 as a loss.
Oh.
Because I don't, they will reply back. That's what's funny. They typically reply back and everything. It's just like, hey, sorry, we're gonna check on it and we'll get it ordered. I'm like, look, just tell me y'all got me. I'll be cool with it. Just say, look, you got me. My 40's gone, and I'll suck that up. But in any event, man, it was great to have you. Great to have you. And again,
Thank you for having me.
and guys, definitely again go look out for Anna Donovan. Check out her social media pages. And of course, we're going to be playing the ad, so you're going to get a lot of her. And,
Thank you very much.
And see her great work. And we will definitely be in touch. I appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks again for having me, Devin.
All right. All right, guys. So there you go. I appreciate you guys listening in. Again, check us out on the website, jamcon.com. Now, again, it's under construction, but we do have a sign up on that landing page to put your email address in, and we'll not only let you know when the site's going to be up or when it is up. We'll